there is something I do want to talk about, and it's just a rant, but microtransactions and how they kind of like they've somewhat ruined some of the possibly great games. Everyone knows about Fallout 76, but first I want to give an example of a time where microtransactions could coexist and coexisted pretty well with a video game. And I'm gonna use Fallout 4 as an example. I'm a big Bethesda fan, so some of them will be Bethesda, some of them will be other EA games that I've played in the recent days. But I have, and recent months and recent years. But I've learned, so if you've ever played Fallout 4, the mods are free right now. Of course, you have DLCs. That's not really microtransactions. That's DLCs. It's totally different. Totally different. But something you'll notice when you play this, there's like this creation club or something. That's paid stuff, but it's not canonical. It's some fun stuff. Like there's this Liberty Prime power armor suit. It's not real. It's not canonical, but they make it into canonical, so it looks like it's a part of the game. And so that type of microtransaction coexists to where you're not really missing out. When I don't buy that, because of course I don't have the money to, I don't feel like I'm missing out on fun parts of the game. I don't feel like the game is blocked from me. But when, like, let's say Fallout 76, it's all microtransactions. The game wasn't really that good. I feel like they had some high shoes to fill, and they just kind of half-assed it or something. That man's above me. Fuck. Screw you, bitch. I'm going over here. Screw you, bitch. I'm going over here. Screw you, bitch. I'm running away, because I'm a bitch. Never mind. Alright. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. And then I'm going to give another example of a bad game. And then I'm going to dive deep into why these games don't go well. So I'm not going to use the classic example of Fallout 76, mainly because there's too much, and I want to keep this quite short. What I'm going to use is a game called Battlefield 5, and don't click off now because a lot of people, not Battlefield 5, Battlefield 5 was pretty good. Battlefield 4, my apologies, I'm going to use an example of Battlefield 4. A lot of people haven't really played it. I only played it a few days ago, and then I immediately saw what was wrong, and I started hating it because, you know, the storyline was iffy, but I never really played those type of games for the storyline. I played it for the gameplay, which also means, like, the online bit. After a while for these games, especially those first-person shooters, the storylines are storylines, yada yada yada. You can take, like, 76 hits before you ever, like, die. But then you want to get to the multiplayer because that's where you feel like a real soldier, and that's why people got the game, because I think it's kind of somewhat feel like that sometimes. And so, you know, you can commit atrocities without actually getting arrested in real life. That works too. But besides that, a lot of the multiplayer maps, and like there's one of them, there's this carrier assault. Oh my god, I really, like, my ass was waiting for that game. Like I saw that and I was like, oh, that's a thing. I was so happy. And then it said that I had to buy it for like $19. I was like, oh, hold up, what? And so then I started going through all the multiplayer maps. Some of them were free for me because I had EA. So some of them I were able to buy freely, and I think some of them are free anyway. But the fact that they make it to where you feel like you can't play the actual game as it was intended without using extra money, so you buy the game, and then it feels like you have to buy extra parts. It's not the DLC. It's like it's almost like to complete the story mode. EA does this a lot with its other games. You have, of course, now Fallout 76, and many games, especially mobile games, are locked behind a paywall, and that's what's kind of ruined the trust between the consumer and the game developers. Is that they feel like even if this game is like has the propaganda and it's broadcasted to be super super good, even if it is as good as people say, it won't be because you have to pay beyond the game. So it's a $60 game. Alright, you asked your parents to get $60. Finally, for Christmas, they agree. And then after playing it for a few days, you realize you need another 15, and then another 12, and another 5, and then another 6, another 30, another 19. And that's just to be funding. I'm sure the reason that this is done, it's a prize, it's much wealth. And this was kind of there's a reason. I'm going to go ahead and give an example to the 2018, I believe it was, recession, something like that. To pull out of it, many companies had to take the workers' benefits from their employees. Now, of course, their economy did recover for this, and those companies became more efficient. But they became more efficient off the backs of the people, which, you know what, that's okay. It happens. It's economics. To save the world, sometimes that has to happen. Yes, there's a man chasing me. Would you get off of me, please? Spell of swiftness. I will take that. Fuck off. Fuck off. I don't know how to get back, by the way. So I'm going to try to not die. Okay, I died anyway, but that's fine. So going back to my point. You have these companies, they want to make the most money out of it, but once you cross a line, and I'm going to go back to Fallout 4, there you had the microtransactions for like the Creation Club. It was something like that. I'm pretty sure it's Creation Club. That was fine because it was technically non-canonical, but it was made by like a part-like developer team. It seemed and it fit right in there. Like there was mods which were made by the community, and then the Creation Club, which felt like a mix between a real game and a mod, and it fit neatly right in the middle. And that's the stuff to where you're not missing out on the game. And with DLCs, like DLCs, you're not missing out on the game, but DLCs are different. But you're not missing out on the game with Creation Club. It's just a little bit extra. But when you have games like Battlefield 4, which I've heard from a lot of my friends sucked afterwards, and I was like, yeah, it takes the immersive feeling out of it. It takes that freedom out of it, and that's what attracts players. Now, some people will say, well, they still had part of the game, and that was enough. You're just being greedy. Well, yeah, but I'm not going to say it's the job of the game developers, but there's a relationship that needs to be maintained, and when you start sacrificing that relationship for money, it doesn't really work out. And of course, there's been a lot of, and this is just natural. There's been a lot of times where people start out with humble beginnings, and then over time I'm not going to say become corrupt, but then the money aspect starts to become over. You know, all that type of stuff happens. It's just a thing. So that's why microtransactions, they seem to be ruining some of our favorite games, and that's why we're losing trust on these big companies. Now, a lot of people say get rid of microtransactions. No, because it's actually it's a healthy balance if you do it right. Now, Bethesda, Fallout 4, again, they did that perfect. I still enjoy Fallout 4 today, and I look at Creation Club. Sometimes there's deals for free stuff. There's always that, and it's something that just feels right, and I'm okay with it. Please, someone not coming over here. Okay, good. But then Fallout 76, they took the Creation Club and then just multiplied it. Bro, your cheeks are mine. Your cheeks are not mine. Oh my god. Oh my. Ah! 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 Screw off. Ah! There we go. Let me just take some of this, guys. It's beautiful resources. Never mind. I didn't need any of that. Screw you, kid. By the way, I can be very hostile. Like right now. I'm gonna go murder this man. Or not, because I don't think I can, but I'm gonna try. He used an ender pearl. Yeah, I'm not touching him. But I'm just going to go back, and this is the continuous thing. It's the relationship between the two. Sometimes there's unspoken bond between the developers. It's that trust. And so now with the possibility of the new Skyrim coming out, and plus even in Skyrim, there's a amount of microtransactions, though I barely even saw it because like sometimes I have to like look for it to see it. And that's how well it was. I'm not saying you have to do Skyrim levels where there seemed like there's barely any, even though there wasn't. It looked like that. It's just the relationship, and now with the the confirmed release of what was it called? Oh yeah, the Elder Scrolls 6. Damn it, and the possible release of Fallout 5 and all these other games, all these other ones that Bethesda is making. It's kind of putting out the trust, and you don't really know what to do. Because what if all these games are super hyped up, our memories we kind of put beside Fallout 76 as Bethesda making up? If they don't, it will ruin everything. It's this trust that has between the consumer and the developer, and without that trust, the games they make, people won't buy it as much. Luckily now people's expectations are lower after Fallout 76, so that may cushion any mistakes that are made. And I will admit Bethesda is getting better. They have to remember that humble trust between the consumer. They can't make it to where the biggest rule is you got to be able to have that full immersive feel without feeling like the rest of the game is blocked by the paywall. Maybe the paywall may elevate it a little bit. Maybe it gives you one new quest or a few new quests, but not like maybe full DLC, but not like it feels like you have to go through half of it and you can't experience the immersive feeling. You can't experience the fun part. You can't experience the true game that you paid for or got a deal off or whatever. You can't experience that game without having to pay more money. And that, though some people will argue that it's just, whether it's just or not, I'm not going to say if it's right or wrong. I'm saying that's from the consumer's point of view. And it's very hard to change the consumer's point of view. So, like, some people are like, well, I feel this way, but I don't know why. It's not like you can put them cold hard facts to make them feel better. So it's that trust that people can't just put statistics on. Well, I guess you can, but you can't like say, okay, we can sacrifice this percentage of trust for this and that. You can't, because once you start doing that, everyone loses faith. Everyone's like, oh, they're gonna do this again, and then the whole gaming community is just like, yeah, we're kind of through with that shit. Please don't come down and destroy me. I'm having a good day today. I'm ranting about stuff. I feel like I heard footsteps. Misa scared. Misa very scared. Misa super scared. Misa teleport with Pearl. But I think I'm just gonna play some more Sky Wars. That's my little rant on that, and I hope you had a good day. This is my name's Staggered. Also, this is the part where I shamelessly ask for you to subscribe. Please, I need subscribers. I am very, very poor. Don't cancel me in the future if I get a lot of subscribers after saying that, please.